everybody. Welcome to the weekly PSv3 and other shenanigans webinar. We have already said hello to everybody, so we are about to jump right into this and probably just do some Q&A. Might have a couple of new announcements that we have been working on over the past week. A couple of new things coming into the system. I know many of you have been asking for affiliate links, and we know that. We are on it. We have a brand new system that is internal. It's an internal system to PSv3 because we just wanted to have full control and the ability to fully customize an affiliate system to take into account all of the various features and things that an affiliate system has. Herc, is there anything you want to lead off with here?
Okay, yeah, I'm going to actually start with a couple of the new things that are coming. And one of them just came up today, and I want to talk about it, even though our coders haven't said whether we can do it or not, but we're probably going to be able to do it. Todd has developed, you guys know Todd was developed already a command center, SEO command center, and it had all kinds of cool functions and features in there. But one of the ones that we want to put, we're going to borrow from his software code and put it into this one, is something called a Schema Sniper. And how this came about was, I know when I'm searching around in Google for certain things, I'll oftentimes see schema, or I'll see rich snippets, or I'll see cool things that I like. And what I do is, if I want them, is I'll reverse engineer them. Okay, so like for instance, I'm gonna go to a website. I'm gonna do a Google search for you here. Okay?
Show that guitar one.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that one. How to learn guitar. Okay. Not that I need to learn guitar. I'm just looking for schema stuff with this search. I could always get better at guitar though. This little entry right here, guys, really interested me because for a couple of reasons. Normally when we see schema, okay, like this is one I show you guys lots of, the Club Network Review. Please don't join this, guys. I'm actually not endorsing this anymore. I just use it for examples a lot. But you can see the typical schema that we always see, guys, is a rating, count, and then how many votes, right? So this has a rating of 5 because all 8 people, we showed this on the last webinar, put in a rating of 5. However, if you look at this one, it's a little bit different, right? It's got a rating of 83% with 356 votes. So if we go look at it, okay, where did it come from? Where did all those votes come from? So you come through here and you start looking, but up here in the top corner, you can see 83% of readers found this article helpful. And what you can do, and I've already done this because I was testing it, is leave a vote. Okay, so thanks for voting. So now, instead of whatever 356 votes, it now has 357 votes, okay? And notice we're not leaving a review. We're not actually typing in, I think this article was great, and my name's Ian, and I'm from Beaumont, Alberta, and blah, 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 blah. We're just giving a rating. Okay, and that was something that I covered a little bit in detail, and I'll cover it again because it's an important point. In schema, guys, when we're setting up aggregate rating schema, there's 5 values that we usually set up. One is best rating, and the other one is worst rating. That creates your range. The best rating is going to be a 5. The worst rating is going to be a 1. That creates a scale of 1 to 5. But then we have 3 other ones that we have to input. One is called review count. One is called rating count, and one is called rating value. Now, which ones of those do we use and which ones of those do we need? Okay, I'm actually going to pull this over so you can see it. Okay, here's the best and the worst. Okay, and then here's the 3 other options: review count, and rating value. This and this are necessary, and this is necessary. The rating value is basically the aggregate rating. If some people left 10 reviews and it averaged out to a 4.7, that's the rating value, a 4.7, right? And those are the best and the worst. I talked about that already, but review count, okay, and rating count are kind of similar and kind of confusing. What's the difference between a review and a rating? A review, and you only have to use one of these, by the way, when you're building schema. These are the only ones that you have an option on. This is required. Here, let me move this up because it's required, okay? So those are the required ones, those three. But then of these two, you can use one or the other or both. I guess it doesn't really matter. But the review count, guys, is the total number of written reviews submitted, meaning somebody wrote a review and submitted it, whereas rating count is the total number of star ratings submitted. So on this particular site, there's no review submission ability. It's just a rating. All you can do is rate the article. Now, what I wanted to do is reverse engineer this. What does the schema look like? How did they build it, right? Because if I want to build it, I have to build it in a very, very similar feature. So what I do, I have a plugin here, okay, called it's a Chrome extension called Structured Data Testing. And all I do is I click, now that I'm on the URL with the schema I want to see, I click send to Google, and it just takes me over to the Structured Data Testing tool, pops in the URL for me, and then runs it. So now what we're going to do is look at the schema that was built in order to just review, or just rate, I should say, just to rate the article, okay? So for some reason, this one actually takes a long. Here's the schema you can see. Okay, so the schema they chose is an article schema. I had to actually look at both. I was like, was it an action? And then it gets into these view actions, and then I'm like, no, those don't really look right. So I went back, okay, and then I saw article as the next type of schema, and then I looked at it, and I'm like, aha, this is it, okay? So you can see, here it is. Here's the best rating is 100, the rating count is 357, and the rating value, right, is the total number of ratings on an average. So on average, 83%, meaning on average, people are giving it, you know, around 4 or 5 stars, and it after 355 or 357 ratings, it comes up with an 83%. Rating count was 357. So remember, rating count is the total number of star ratings submitted. There is no review count in this schema. There's only rating count. So when I was looking at all this, I was thinking, hey, this is really great. You know, articles, lots of people write blog articles, and for your blogs and stuff like that, guys, if you want people searching Google and finding your blogs, and you want them to see, you know, the things like this, excuse me, okay, for an article, that would be awesome, right? So all we have to do now to get the same functionality is build this exact type of schema. We know we're going to inject an article schema. We know the exact properties of article that we need to integrate. Then we know we're going to put in an aggregate schema rating, and we're only going to have rating count, not review count. And then they went as far as to add the publisher of the article as well as the contributor who's creating the ratings. And I can show you where that shows up as well. Okay, so you can see there's the expert review by Nate Savage, right? So they included him. The contributor was Nate Savage. That's the contributor of the article. The publisher of the article was wikihow.com, okay? And they put in, you know, an image object or a link to the image and stuff like that. The author of the article and stuff like that. So you can literally, if you want that same functionality, you can literally copy this whole scenario, okay, and just build it into your schema. But that got me thinking, what if in Project Supremacy v3, we had a way to actually snipe the exact schema setup of someone else's schema that we liked? So what if we were on Google and we saw this and we liked it, or we saw a rich snippet or an image or anything that happens in Google, okay, that is caused through JSON LD schema, and you want it on your site, okay? But rather than having to go to the schema testing tool, read it all, recreate it inside of V3, what if we had a shortcut? What if we had a Schema Sniper? So this is creating a new feature now that we're going to start looking at building. What we're going to do in the dashboard under schema is we're going to build a Schema Sniper, where what you'll do is you'll actually either do this, okay? So if we want to see the schema, there's going to be one of two ways. I'm going to try and make it the easiest way, or we'll try and make it the easiest way. If I want to see the script of schema that was built, all I have to do is type, go to the structured data testing tool, click on the schema that I'm interested in, and click on the top level entry, and you can see it highlights it for me. So there's article, okay, there's headline, it highlights it for me. But the start of the script for schema always starts with this entry right here. Script type equals application JSON LD. Now, if I want the whole schema, guys, here's what I do. I go from the start of the script to the end of the script. I press Control C. Okay, I'm going to open up a new file, notepad. I'm going to paste, actually, you know what? I'll use WordPad because I know you guys like bigger Word. Here we go. WordWriter. OpenOffice.org is my free version of Microsoft Office. So there's the schema, guys. Okay, so now that we have the schema, even though it's built for their website and it's built with their stuff, the important part is we have the schema types and properties, as well as the nested schemas, because you guys know that we build nested schemas in V3. We have it already there for us. So now what we're going to do in V3, okay, we'll have a way to snipe schema. So there'll be a button or something, and it'll open up almost like a schema renderer. And all you're going to do is input this code, right? You'll take the whole code and input it, and then you'll say, okay, what website do I want it on, right? And then you press inject. And then what it will do for you is just like with how to make money with Bitcoin, okay, it'll inject the schema tree already nested for you. So what will happen is this will open up, okay, and you'll see the stuff already filled out. And remember, we can hide things that we're not using. There's the stuff that I'm actually using. It'll fill everything that was filled out on that schema into your schema for you. But then we want to take it one step further. Instead of having to go to Google at Structured Data Testing Tool and actually grab the script and copy and paste it, we'll probably have that option too. But what we're going to actually do is just say, okay, you know, schema snipe what? Well, I want to schema snipe this URL. So you're going to be able to go to V3, put in the URL. It's going to read, right, the page source for you. It's going to find the JSON. There it is. And it's going to grab the script for you so that you don't have to do what I'm doing right now. And it's going to import it for you. Okay, then all you're going to have to do at that point, since the schema is set up 100% correctly, it's nested properly, it's got all the properties already built into it, all you're going to have to come in and do is fill in your own description, your own logo, your own name, your own same as, your own URL. You're just going to have to fill in your own details, right? And you're going to have perfectly sniped setup schema for anything that you find on Google that you really, really like. Now, with this particular instance, we don't have right now, we will have this. We have actual the review collection box where they have to leave a review, but we're going to actually have the rating box as well. We're going to add that so that people, when you guys are doing schema for things like articles, people can just rate the article without leaving a comment, and we'll still get to be able to supply the aggregate rating from that, all automated, all updated for you automatically, just like the ratings are. So we can start doing that for things like articles and things like recipes and things like, you know, music tabs. I see a lot of these. I see a lot of sites where they're just rating the schema type with a rating instead of a review. So Schema Sniper is something that is coming, and I'm going to push the guys pretty hard to build this because I know they can do it. But I think it's going to be a feature, guys, that's really going to take the complexity out of building schema, because that's one thing, you know, we get asked time and time again is, what type of schema do I use for this? What type of schema do I do for that? Now all you have to do, guys, is go on Google. When you see something that you like, you'll have the ability to copy it, snipe it with a few clicks perfectly. Then you're just going to fill in your own data. So that's going to come pretty soon, and that's going to be awesome. That's going to be a hugely awesome feature. The other thing we're going to integrate as well is this. Whoops, not that. That's, we already have that. So you guys know that we have a keyword research tool, Keyword Supremacy, okay, where we can search for keywords. Better log out. What we're going to integrate into V3 now is it's not going to be necessarily, you know, using it within V3, but we're going to add a button that's going to bring this modal, this login window for Keyword Supremacy right inside of V3, so that if you want to do keyword research, you can do it, you can access it quickly. So we're not necessarily bringing the functionality into V3. we're bringing the login window into V3 so that it's a constant reminder. Hey, you should be doing keyword research in many different ways, not just using the V3 project planner. That's one way to do it, but using the suggestive properties of keyword supremacy. So that's going to get added into there as well. And I'll come to all your questions, guys. I already see a bunch of questions, and I'll get to those in a second. So those are the new features coming in. And then, of course, Todd, before the webinar started getting recorded, was talking about the affiliate program, which is coming. It's done, actually. Todd and I just have to test it and make sure everything is working properly. So that is also coming very, very soon. For anyone that's on Zaxa right now, Todd already mentioned we're using Zaxa for our billing for V3. Don't worry, I don't think anything's going to change for you guys, and I don't think we're going to request that you move your billing from Zaxa over to V3 because Zaxa is working good, to be honest. It's anybody that's on Deal Guardian that we're going to ask to move over. So if you're on Zaxa billing, you're already fine, and we'll have Zaxa as a backup. We're just adding our own affiliate program and billing system because we need more customized functionality. So that's done, going to be released soon, but Zaxa is still going to 100% work. And then we'll have two, one as a safety in case anything ever goes wrong. The next couple things I want to cover here quickly, guys, is the importance of backing up your sites. Oh my God. Give me a 1, you guys, if you're backing up your sites, and give me a 2 if you haven't started backing up your sites yet. Okay, I see a bunch of 2s in there, guys. It is so simple, guys, to be backing up your sites with V3, okay? And I'm guilty of not taking the few minutes it takes to set stuff up, but let me show you how easy it is. So I can't go into the API keys because all my APIs are in there and I don't want them live on the webinar. But all you have to do is go into your backup settings. Let me actually just take this over to a new window because I might be able to show it. I just want to see if my API key shows. Woo, come on. Why is that not going? Because I'm on a webinar, that's why it's not being fast. Okay, there's something a little wonky in there. Anyways, what we're gonna do, guys, is when you go into backup settings, you can basically hook up to things like Dropbox or Amazon or Google, and okay, it's an area to store your backups. It's very simple to do, okay? But once that's done, let me show you how easy it is to set up a backup to save your ass, okay? So Zoe Bliss, I want to backup. I have Dropbox set up, so I'm going to choose Dropbox as my storage method. My backup schedule, I'm going to do it weekly. Why weekly? Because I don't really update that blog that often, okay? And then the limit, how many backups do I want to save before they start knocking off the oldest one? 5, and create a backup. Are you sure? Yes. That's it. I'm done. Okay. Zoe Bliss, when this backup is completed, is now safe from anything. And let me tell you why this is important, guys. I got hacked again. Anything that's for me that seems to be on those HostGator accounts, for some reason is getting hacked. Typically with my HostGator accounts, what I do is buy, this was back in the day, these are really, really old accounts. I would buy shared hosting and then I would use add-on domains. And the one issue I find when you're doing add-on domains is you have one cPanel account and it controls every domain. But when you have a single cPanel account, you have a single point of entry for access to all your sites. So if a hacker does somehow manage to get into one of your sites or into your cPanel, they now have access to all your sites and they can spread a virus or an SQL injection to all the sites or all the subdomains on the same cPanel. So it's a bit of a point of weakness. And I've been hacked on 2 separate occasions on 2 separate HostGator accounts on 2 different cPanels. Now this last one, it had one of my best PBNs on it. It had a lead gen site on it. And then another site that I do, I think I'm just building like another lead gen site on it. And I didn't want to lose those. The shitty thing, guys, is I didn't have them set up in Supremacy for backup. So I had to go to HostGator and say, listen, do you guys happen to have a backup of this? They did. They charged me $25 to restore that cPanel. And now that they did, guess what I did? Now that I've paid the $25, got my sites back, the first thing I did, I went into Project Supremacy and set up backups because I could have avoided that $5 charge. I also wouldn't have had to wait for HostGator to do their thing. I could have restored my backup quickly and easily from Project Supremacy. So to me, it's not a matter of when or not a matter of if, it's a matter of when that sites just get hacked. They just do. If you don't keep things up to date and you don't have a tool like Supremacy where you're managing a lot of sites, guys. I showed you on the last webinar my daily routine. As you can see, I have all these updates. I always am updating my shit to keep it secure, but things still get through. So the next line of defense after keeping things secure is keep things backed up. So there you go. Project Supremacy Zoe Bliss is now backed up. That site is now safe. If it gets hacked, if it gets anything, no problem. I run the backup with Project Supremacy V3. It literally takes 2 seconds. Okay, so I can click on View Backups. There it is. All I have to do is click Restore. Are you sure it's telling me it's going to overwrite everything? I can click yes, click Restore. Boom, my site is back. Now I go in and I change my passwords to update the security of things. Okay. If you're not backing up your sites, guys, please start backing up your sites. Okay, all you twos out there, because if you don't have a backup of your site, I'm lucky that HostGator did have a backup and that they had a backup that fell on the right date and time, because if they had backed up after the hack had happened, that's it. Those sites are gone. They're hacked. I would have to rebuild. Okay, so make sure you're backing up your websites. Bruce says for $25 a month, you can get a HostGator account that will give you a new cPanel per website. Is that a good thing to have? Well, I mean, yes and no. I guess it's good, but you have a tool already that could give you the backup. I know you're talking more about separate cPanels. That's up to you if you want to pay the extra cost. I would have been fine, guys. The point is that even with HostGator, had I been backing up my sites with V3, I would have been fine. When my Bitcoin site got hacked, that particular cPanel, it spread to all the sites. And HostGator, when I submitted the ticket to them, I need a restore. They actually had a restore, but it was after the point that my site got hacked. And I was like, shit, we're not going to be able to save this site. But then our coding team was like, well, did you have it backed up in V3? Luckily, I did have that one backed up in V3. So I had an older backup. I was able to restore and save that site because I had it in V3. So it's super useful, guys. It's already come in handy to me a couple of times as well. So make sure you're backing up your sites. The last thing I want to talk about, guys, is this post right here. I'm going to put this in your chat box. Give me a 1, guys, if you've already seen this. Give me a 2 if you haven't. How to get Google stars for your business. A new post that I did. It's about a 30-minute post. Give me a 1 if you've seen it, a 2 if not. I just want to see what kind of penetration I have with you guys. Okay, you guys, you definitely need to watch this video. It's an awesome one, okay? It was shot more for a beginner who doesn't even understand what stars are or what schema is, because Todd and I are now going to start marketing Supremacy V3 more to like business owners who want to, take on things of their own nature. So it's shot more for a beginner, but it still has great information in it. And more importantly, this is kind of what I cover. Okay, so let's do this. Let me update this a little bit. Okay, I talked about how to get star ratings in Google. Okay, and the schema types that you need to have that are required to get error-free schema in your website, okay? And with V3, there's basically 2 types of schema that you need for, and this is for a very generalized business, when you're not being very specific, like you have a dentist schema or you have a plumber schema. For most businesses starting out, you can start with a local business type schema, and these are the properties, guys, and I'm gonna add 1 more row. I'll add it after I'm thinking here. These are the properties that you must have in order to get error-free schema with star ratings: address, aggregate rating, description, email, image, logo, name, price, range, telephone, and URL. If you put these particular schema types into local business, you will get error-free schema. Then for the aggregate rating, you can see the entry is actually add new schema because it is a nested schema. You want to make sure that when you're rating a local business, that you nest the aggregate rating into the local business schema, and that's why I have it in commas here. But here's the aggregate rating schema and properties, description, image, name, URL, best rating, worst rating, rating value. Okay. Those are the aggregate rating properties, and then you have to nest it in. So this video goes over the property or the process of performing all this using Project Supremacy v3. Okay, so you should definitely watch this video. It's a really, really good one. The only other thing I want to add is optional, but awesome. Same as, okay? Same as markups are all the URLs to your associated social media pages or profiles, okay? That's not a necessary schema type, but it's definitely an awesome one. You should definitely be using same as markup. So watch that video, guys. I put the link in the chat box already, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. So that's it, guys, for the things that I wanted to tell you about. So what I'll do is go into Q&A because I already see a whole bunch as I was talking coming in. Whoa. Question 1, when you start creating schema, do you always start with a thing? Rick, nope. I usually start with whatever I'm building schema for. So if I'm doing a local site, I always talk about being most specific to least specific. So when I start building schema for a site, if I'm say working with a dentist, which I don't have a dentist, I'll type in dentist to see if it's there. If it's there, I'll use it. If it's not there, I'll back it up to local business, okay, or organization. And then I'll start there, right? And I'll start filling in the schema from there. And then if I see thing, which I believe thing is in here, no, it's not. If I see thing as a nested schema, I'll build that schema then. Then a bunch of you guys loving the Schema Sniper feature, which is awesome. I'm glad to see you guys like that. Rich, can you make it so that one can still capture, copy the HTML code after adding our details? Yeah, we're going to have both, Rich. We're going to have it so that you can just copy the schema and paste it into a text field, or you can just scrape the URL and it'll grab it. And the reason why that'll be good, to be honest, to have both is in that example that I gave, there was more than just, you saw that there was more than just article schema in there. Maybe what we'll do is we'll have, if we scrape the URL, it'll say, here's the types of schema, which ones do you want to use? Or you can just open up a text box and paste in the schema you want and it'll build it. Rick, so you're saying even right now we can add a unique schema into our website if we see something we like, but it is not in PS. Well, you can always add, okay, so with the schema PS builder, we typically will have almost every schema type and property that you're going to want, okay, because we have a shit ton of it, okay, so it's likely that we're going to have what you're looking for. If we don't have what you're looking for and you go to a site and you scrape it, you can still inject a schema code into your pages, just using something like, let's go into a site. Okay, let's just log into any site and show you how you would inject a schema from another source not built with v3. Okay, so if I go to edit on this particular page, okay, and then let's just grab printer repair Edmonton. I'm going to just grab a snippet of code. Okay, I'll just grab this small one here. I'm going to load this up. Okay, so let's say that you went to Google and you scraped a piece of code from Google, okay, or from some other site. And then you went to v3 and you didn't have that property available to you. So you scraped the code from another site and you still want to put it in. Here's how you would do it, okay? See scripts right here, guys? You go to the page that you want that schema on. You go to Project Supremacy SEO, make sure it's turned on, go to the scripts tab and press Control V. There, you just added schema to that page that, you know, Project Supremacy v3 apparently won't be supported. Okay, and then you just click save. Now I'm not going to do that because the schema is already there, but that's how you would add any other type of schema to a page or post using v3 if v3 is not able to build it, which I doubt it will. We should have everything. Kevin, no, sorry, we can't do that. Different systems, single logon for v3, all our products, we can't have separate logins, or we have to have separate logins, separate systems. Sorry, dude. Will we be able to import from Keyword Supremacy straight into Project Supremacy page? You're probably talking, Walt, about, let's go grab some keywords here. So you're probably talking about the project planner, okay? Importing a keyword group from the from Keyword Supremacy into the project planner. So let's just do this, create my first project, project 1. Okay, so we'll load this. Okay, and we're gonna add group from existing pages or posts. I never select the pages or posts. We're gonna do this one, the service and the sales and supply pages. Okay, good. We'll add those groups. Okay, I obviously didn't have Project Supremacy before I built this site, but now I have this. Now we want to build, add keywords to these from Keyword Supremacy. The way to do it basically is grab a text file list of the keywords that you're the keywords that your RoboForm hates this site. There we go. Okay, so let's say, I know these keywords don't make sense, but you'll just have to grab a keyword list. Okay, so as you're selecting keywords, where is that list one? Here we go, saved keyword lists. I don't have any in here, so it's not gonna make sense. But when you save a keyword list, keywords that you like, it saves it to a list, and then you can download that list as a text file. Okay, so just the list of keywords that you like, and then you come here and you click on this little actions tab and you add new keywords, okay, and you just paste the list. And it'll be in this format from Keyword Supremacy, right? And then you click add. And it adds the keywords for you. So we don't have like a really nice, super sweet functionality to push it in. We might build that, I don't know, from keyword lists. But for now, it's easy enough. You just download the keyword list, upload it here. Bruce, how accurate is Market Samurai for keyword research? I don't know, I don't use Market Samurai, but I see this question a lot about accuracy of keyword research, and I have like a few comments to make about that. Number one, who's the most accurate? Does anybody know who the absolute most accurate person is, or the most accurate service to get keyword data from? Does anybody have an idea? Yeah, Google, exactly, right? Actual search volume from Google. So all these services, guys, SEMrush, Majestic, Ahrefs, like all these guys coming out with keyword tools, I don't think a lot of them are scraping directly from Google. They're using APIs into other services. Even Keyword Supremacy scrapes from another service, because it is damn hard to get a Google API and it's damn hard to keep one. Google's very protective of their data, okay? So the Google AdWords keyword tool typically is going to be your best bet for getting accurate data. Now, the nice thing about Project Supremacy, guys, is this. Okay, I'm going to add a couple keywords. When you guys are doing keyword research inside of Project Supremacy, okay, and we go to get keyword volume and CPC, this data actually comes straight from Google. Okay. Keyword Supremacy is not going to come straight from Google. It's going to come from SEMrush. That's just the way it is, because we have too many people doing too much volume keyword research. We would be abusing the API and we'd lose that. So you have to look at your tools and you have to look at their approximations and understand that not everything comes from Google. You have to understand that. If you're curious about where SEMrush is getting their data, you'd have to go digging a little bit. I'm not sure where they get their data. SEMrush. I think they're their own aggregate of their own user searches. But anyways, the bigger point here, guys, is even with Google, you know how they have the ranges now in the AdWords tool, and then all these other tools have approximations of Google data. Ranges to me are like no different than when I'm looking up PBN metrics or domain metrics. They're just a guide, right? They should never I don't want to say encourage you, but they should never discourage you. They should more likely never discourage you from going after a keyword. You never know how accurate they're going to be. Even Google with their data, if they're giving you this kind of data, you know, golf swing tips, 9,900 searches a month, that's still not a 100% accurate thing. It's just an approximation, you know, that Google's going to give you. So you have to kind of keep that in mind when you're doing keyword research with these things. They're just guides. Don't ever let a guide stop you from going after a keyword. If it's the right keyword, okay, and you see that it has 9,900 searches on Google and you go to SEMrush and it's got 2,000 searches, is that going to stop you from going after the keyword? It shouldn't. You know what I mean? We're getting to the point with Project Supremacy V3 and our SEO understanding and knowledge that we can go after a ton of keywords and a ton of content and a ton of pages using the project planner and just go after it all. Go after those keywords, group them, optimize your pages, create new pages, go after new keywords, build your sites, okay, and get the traffic and get the sale. Go after the keywords. That's kind of my point on those whole things. Don't let guides stop you from doing things. Just use guides as guides. Okay, you know, it's I'd rather go after this keyword than that keyword, but that's not even the right sentence. Go after both because you have the ability using the project planner and shit like that to really be effective in your SEO. Sylvie, how did I know my cPanel was hacked? I'm kind of jumping back and forth between topics here, guys, because I'm not answering questions as they come. I knew my cPanel was hacked because I went to my site and it was like, ha ha ha, you've been hacked by, you know, so-and-so group, and they're playing these weird MIDI songs and my site was gone. And then I went into my cPanel to look at my files and they erased all my WordPress files so that they could replace it with their own. Yeah, you could tell when you're hacked. It's just obvious. Rick says he lost 360 websites through a hack a few years ago, and the host company was also hacked, so no backups. Yeah, that sucks. I know how bad it sucks to get hacked. It's terrible. I mean, it took me a while to recover from those. Cedric, if you did a WordPress update for your customer and it broke your site, you can use the Rescue Center to actually go back to the old version of WordPress. So, for instance, let's show you this. WP admin. Okay, so let's do this, guys. So here's Printer Repair Edmonton, and we're on. If we go to the dashboard, we're on WordPress version 4.93 is running, okay, and we know that, and everything's fine. And then we do an update to 4.94, so let's do that, okay. Welcome to WordPress 4.94. Oh shit, now my site's broken. WordPress new version broke my site. I need to go back. Okay. Rescue Center, Project Supremacy V3 plugin, Rescue Center. Okay. WordPress easy mode, begin the procedure. I'd like to go back to WordPress 4.93, please. Download the plugin, the core files for 4.93. Perform the file analysis. Success. Blah 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 blah. Okay, it's telling you, read the instructions. It'll tell you the difference between green, red, and blue files. Okay, start the rescue operation. This is going to revert, successfully finished. Okay, so I'm going to go to my dashboard. Boom, I'm back to 4.3. See how fast and easy that was, Cedric? Cedric, hopefully you saw that. Just let me know you did. Cedric, are you still on the Webby? Well, hopefully you'll. Okay, awesome. Yeah, do that for your client site. You'll be back to good as gold. The only problem, though, I will say though, Cedric, with that is before you rescue center back, try and figure out what broke the site. You definitely want to figure that out because you don't want to leave, your site at 4.93 because of one bad plugin that's not communicating properly, or one bad theme that's not communicating properly, because that's where you get into vulnerabilities. And then you're leaving yourself open by leaving things outdated. So 2 things for you, Cedric. Make sure you back up your site. Okay, so what I would do is go back and revert it to 4.93. Okay, then go create a backup using Project Supremacy backup so that you have a backup of a working version of your site. Okay, and make sure that when you back it up that you can view the backup, because you don't want it. This is an actual finished backup. You can see it. It's not in the queue. Once you have the site backed up, then go back, update back to 4.94. The site will break again. Then start deactivating plugins one by one to see what's the conflicting plugin. And then if you can't figure out or whatever, I don't know, you're gonna have to hire someone pro. Hopefully you'll figure it out. But if you really need to revert back, you can just use the rescue center to revert back to a different version of WordPress. So there's a whole scenario for you that you can use to figure that situation out with your client, and it's fast. Mike, can you add a YouTube video as same as? Absolutely. Just in same as markup. Let's go to this one, brand. Okay, there's 2 things you can do actually. I did a video object, and I added a video that actually gives the link to the same as markup. Yeah, well, there's video objects, yeah, or you could do a same as on the page or whatever it is. But yeah, there's the video object URL. Hopefully that answers your question. Yes, you can do same as markup to a YouTube URL, or you can do a video object and import that as well. So like if I actually go to that website, you notice how my video object isn't part of my schema for USI. So if I go to USI Tech, I have aggregate rating and brand. Let's see if there's a video object that I could nest it. Let me see. I'll just go Control F VIDEO. Nope, I spelled it wrong. USI Tech. Okay, now I'll do video. It is, no, I can't, it's not a sub part of anything, so I just did it like that. I added a new schema. It's not a nested schema availability in brand or aggregate rating. Maybe in thing it is. Nope, it's not in thing either. So yeah, that's why it's on its own. That's why video object has its own tree, because it's you can't nest video object into the other schemas I built. So when I install video object as schema, I'll go to the page schema and I'll look for USI. Oops. Oh yeah, I had to delete that page. But yeah, I just dragged it. So you'd see 2 things. You'd see USI Tech product dragged over, and you'd see USI video dragged over. So there'd be 2 schema types there, because I couldn't embed one. This product schema for USI, so you can see USI Tech product contains multiple nested schemas, right? If I open this in a new tab, that's why I only have to drag one thing, even though I built multiple schemas. So back to Bitcoin site. Okay, so I go to product, USI Tech. Okay, I have aggregate rating and brand. Aggregate rating has a thing schema in it as well for USI Tech, and then brand has USI Tech. So I have all this schema And if I load it and I render it, you can see it's a pretty big schema entry. It's got a lot of nested schema. So there's literally 1, 2, 3, 4 schemas, but they're all rolled into one product, right? Because they're nested. And that's why when I go to assign the schema, I only have to take the parent schema and all the nested schema comes with it. I don't have to individually grab every schema once it's nested. So you can see product USI Tech, product USI Tech, and that has all the nested stuff in it already. Natalie, you're a bit confused as to where on a site you would use schema, the whole site. Well, it depends. Okay, so this video, that video that I talked about earlier, guys, where I shot the local business schema, I mean, that's not the full picture. That's a 30-minute video to just give you a quick and easy idea on how to get schema. So when you're building schema, you kind of have to look at the structure of your site, right? So let's say in a simple site, so something like printer repair Edmonton.com, okay? I have a home page, I have a services page, I have a sales and supplies page, okay? And then maybe I have a blog. Homepage, you can add, so now we're gonna build local business schema, right? Typically, you know, your local business schema can go on your homepage, but the kind of bad part about a homepage, no ag ratings stars will ever show in Google. Well, I shouldn't say ever, because we don't know. I'll just say Google. Okay, you cannot get stars to show up for a homepage URL in Google for some reason. They don't do it. The services page, though, you can add that same local business schema. Okay. And literally using the exact same schema, and you're just popping, and in the video, this is what I did. I used the exact same schema, popped it on the services page, but aggregate ratings will show here. Okay, same schema, and aggregate ratings will show. And then the same thing for this particular page, okay? Is that the best way to do schema? Nope. To be honest with you, right? What you really should do, if I wanted to do this site very, very responsibly, would look a lot more like this, okay? I would have a home page with local business schema, then I would nest a reviews page, okay? And this page would show my I should almost build this for you just to show you that. Let me do that. I'm going to actually do this for you. Okay. Okay. So let's go into projects of printer repair. Here we are. We're already in printer repair Edmonton. So I have a home page, but I need a reviews page. Okay. Because I want anything about my homepage to go to my reviews. So I'm going to go set up a reviews page. That's the first thing I know I need. So I'm going to go to pages, all pages. Okay. And I'm going to add a new page. Doesn't matter. Okay. I'm going to add a reviews page. Okay. So there's my reviews. Our company reviews. I'll make it kind of half-assed decent, right? But now I have to add in the reviews and the collection box and shit like that. So let's update this page and go grab our reviews. So I'm going to go to Supremacy v3, and I'm going to use short codes instead of the widget box. We have the option to use either a widget or short codes. I'm going to use the widget in this scenario. So I'm going to go to reviews. Okay, I'm going to go to my design and behavior, make sure everything's all good. It already is. We already have it because of that video. So I'll just save those changes. It's all good. So I'm going to grab my short code. I already designed my review. Remember, we always have two types of widgets and two types of short codes. One is going to display the reviews. The other is going to collect the reviews, right? So we need both in this scenario on the review page. Or actually, I'll show you, we're only going to display reviews on this page. We're going to collect them everywhere else though. Okay, so there's our PS reviews. Okay, we'll display them there. And these are all the options. I'm not going to go over these. I go over them in more detail in the video, as well as there is a very, very detailed article about those options right here in Project Supremacy v3. Make sure you read this. This is all about those short codes, okay? Read them in detail. So we're just going to do it simple. PRS reviews, done. So let's go look at that page and see what it looks like. I found why, because we didn't update the page. Or because I'm on a webinar, or because a redirect got created, I bet. So let's do that. Let's go check our redirect. And this is kind of a bug that we're going to get fixed, actually. So I'll go to V3, I'll go to SEO settings, and I'll check my redirects to see if something, so there it is, okay? Remove all redirects. Hopefully I'm not working too fast, but you can come back and watch this. Here's our reviews page. I'm going to open that in a new tab. This is really weird. If anybody could see what I'm doing wrong here, let me know. This is crazy. I've never had an error building a page before. Let's turn off Platinum SEO Pack for starters. Crazy. So now I can't really show you on this site. My best explanation of it for a big site would be, I'll have to figure out why that site's kind of screwing around. You don't think I got the redirect cleared out? Let's update WordPress again too. And let's go double check those redirects. Definitely cleared out the redirect. This is a really old site too, so I don't know what's going on. I'll have to go in and look at what's going on here. Are my other sites working? Pages working? Yeah, there's something, a plugin that's causing issues here on this site that I'll have to go look at. Or my cache is like really bunk. Yeah, see, it's not seeing any of my pages. I'll have to figure that out, guys. But now, I guess let me try and explain it like this. What I was going to do is I was going to set up a review page, and on this page, okay, I was only going to show the reviews that were being submitted. Now I have a choice where on every page, these other pages, I could have that review collection box, right? So like homepage, sales and service pages, I could be collecting reviews. See right here, I have it. Right now there's only one review and it's showing it. Okay, but this is the review collection box. Now, there's a lot of ways we can do things, okay? If I create that local business schema and I supply it for the homepage, that's good, that's fine, okay? The stars are never gonna show. And then I create a reviews page like I was trying to do. Actually, something just reminded me. Let me finish my thought here. If I create the reviews page to display the reviews, I could do it like this. No matter where someone submits a review, no matter what page or post on my site someone submits a review, it will show up on the reviews page. Okay, and that's one way to do it. The other option that I could do is in our review settings in the plugin. Okay, when we go to the design and the behavior and settings, this setting right here, use per page reviews, this will make it so that the review can only show up for the page that it was submitted on. Okay, so like for instance, if you were going to do that, and it is a more responsible way to do schema, you should be, you should be only reviewing the thing on the page. You should be only supplying reviews for the thing that's on the page. So for instance, in this site, okay, I can do like a home page, right? Local business schema, and then have a reviews page, which is the same local business schema, but I'm collecting and displaying reviews on that reviews page, but it is tied to the home page, meaning that it's the same schema, it's local business schema, and it's reviews for that particular business. Okay. And if someone searches for my business and reviews, like, print and repair Edmonton reviews, this page will probably show up in the SERPs with the stars. However, this will never show up with stars. But now when we go to the sales and services page, okay, our local business schema should probably get edited a little bit for like something maybe more like services offered, right? That should now be the schema for this. And then sales and supplies, you might have, a sales and supplies page. You'd have to look up the schema, but maybe it would be like a different type, like maybe product schema, right? And then you could create aggregate rating for each one of these, and then you have a different schema for each page. And then if you want them to be reviewed, you'd tie in an aggregate rating to that page as well. Right? And you got to remember, guys, the aggregate rating thing is just a schema type, right? Aggregate rating means I'm allowing whatever to be rated, right? So this is the most responsible way to build schema, is you go page by page. You say, does this page really warrant schema? If it does, okay, do I want to review the item that's on this page? If yes, you add aggregate rating, versus a schema built like this, where we built one schema and splattered it on every page. And then we told the plugin, look, no matter where someone submits a review, show it everywhere. Okay, that's kind of spammy schema, but it still works. Okay, and for now, I don't know how long it's going to continue to work for, but it still works perfectly well. And I bet you, and I keep showing this site as an example, but that site, Asbestos Law Pro, that I built with SerpTech, okay, has even spammier schema, where not only, if we actually go to the page, and then we'll actually search it in Google as well. Okay, we're breaking even more rules with this one. Okay, here we are on the first page of Google, and our stars are showing. But if you look on the page, we have the review collection box, but we're not submitting. There's no actual reviews. The aggregate rating schema, I was the one that told it what the reviews were. So when we fill in, and this is why I want you guys to watch this video, when we fill in our aggregate rating, and I tell you guys, you need these things to be set 5, 1, 0, and 0. The reason we set these at 0 is because Project Supremacy is going to do the aggregate rating for us. It's going to, as someone submits a review, the rating value will turn into the first review. So say they gave us a 4, this will turn into a 4, and the review count will turn into a 1 automatically, because in Project Supremacy, we have set up natural reviews. Yes. So when you have natural reviews turned on, okay, that's where, as people are submitting reviews, this part is getting updated automatically. Whereas with the site that I just showed you, that's really spammy, site asbestoslaw.pro, the settings that I had, okay, natural reviews were turned off, meaning I want to supply what the rating shows in Google. So I turned this into like, well, let's go see. Okay, I turned it into a 4.6 with 28 votes. So when I built the schema, I literally said the rating value is a 4.6 and the review count is a 28, I believe what the number was. 4.6 over 28 votes, right, exactly. That's the schema that I submitted for that site. I told Google what the rating was, but I had to turn off natural reviews because this is a more responsible way to do schema, but I was spamming. And it works, right? And the point I'm trying to make is you see a place to leave a review, but there's no place, there's no displaying the reviews and shit like that, because I don't have for this site, I don't have the natural reviews turned on. So it's all faked, but it still works. But it's important to know, you know, the responsible way to do schemas, but it's also good to know what can I get away with, the gray area, right? And the two functions when you're building your schema on your site that you really got to pay attention to when it comes to aggregate ratings are using per page reviews. If this is turned off, no matter where someone submits a review, it will show up when you put the review collection shortcode or the review collection widget. If this is turned on, the review collection shortcode and widget are specific to the page that review was submitted on, right? And then the other one that's important is the natural reviews. Turn it on to let people submitting reviews actually populate the aggregate data. Turn it off to fake it and supply it yourself. So those are both pretty important settings. I kind of went on a long rant there. Nat, did that help? And then I had an idea as to what happened with my site. I wish I could have built it for you and actually showed you, but maybe that, there we go. I figured it out. I had a feeling Marco showed me that one time. He's like, if your site's ever URL erroring, go to your settings, go to your permalinks and reset them. And then for some reason it works. So here, now I'm so glad I went through all that verbally. Let me show it to you on the site, okay? So we want to do responsible schema. Okay, so we've set up the review page, okay? On the home page, okay, we can have a review collection box on the home page, but if we're gonna do schema responsibly, we can't collect reviews on the home page, even though right now we are, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna set the schema to only review the page that you're on. But what I'll do, okay, is let's set it up like this. Our company reviews, we're gonna edit this page. We're gonna actually, that's the home page. We're gonna edit this page. We're gonna have it so that on the reviews page, people can submit the reviews and review or display the reviews as well. Sorry guys, I'm just freaking so many tabs open. Okay, so we're gonna go to V3, back to reviews, make sure our reviews are set up in the responsible way. So design and behavior, settings, okay? Use per page reviews and use natural reviews, okay? And then I'm gonna turn off prevent multiple reviews for now. That just prevents people from submitting 20 reviews and by themselves. They can only submit one. Okay, so we'll just do that. So there we have that set up responsibly, okay? Now I'm gonna go to my short codes. I'm gonna have to get my display, used to display their widgets. Used to display their widget where users can collect. So this is the review collection. So I'm gonna grab that, go back to the page, and okay, so this one, remember, is to display, this one is to collect, okay? And we have a bunch of options on how we can do things. And I'll update that. Now we'll go to the page. Okay, I'll have to figure out why these escapings are happening. Sorry, we have no reviews so far. Why don't you leave us one, okay? Jaja Gabor, who lives in Edmonton, obviously. You fixed my piece of shit printer, good. And she can't spell because her name is Jaja, okay? And then she submits a review. Okay, and it says, thank you for your review. It'll be sent to a queue for approval before appearing live, just so she knows. Then we find out that we got a review because I go to my dashboard or I go to my site and I see there's my review. It's in moderation. Okay, I can edit it if I want, or I can change her review or whatever. Delete it, edit it, approve it. Those are my options. Approve, edit, delete. I'm gonna approve it. Okay. Now when we go back to the page, there we go. Okay, Jaja Gabor. Now remember, I gotta keep reminding you guys because I think it's important. We're setting up reviews responsibly. Natural reviews, meaning people have to submit reviews to get an aggregate rating, and per page reviews, meaning I'm only reviewing the thing on the page. Now, if we go to sales, okay, we don't have any reviews on the sales page, but we also have the schema that we used on this is still the local business type schema. Okay, so if we go back and look at the schema we have set up for printer repair Edmonton. Okay, we only have one schema, and it's a default local business schema. But now we want to build a different schema, okay, on the sales and services page. I mean, we could leave it the way it is, and people could still submit reviews on our sales and services, and that's fine. Okay, you're entering into the gray area because the schema for this page is the same as the schema for the sales page. And maybe this schema should be changed to services offered, or sorry, the service page should be changed to a services offered type schema. And then you add an aggregate rating to it so that people can leave reviews of your sales and your service. And then you go over to your sales page and then you look for schema and you're like, okay, what do we have for sales? You know, I type in sales, there's nothing. I'll type in services. Okay, this is where I talk about, I'm not a schema pro. I don't know the best types of schema, but this is where you guys are going to have to get good at things. Okay, offer catalog, maybe sales and services is part of an offer catalog, blah, blah, whatever. It's just you're supplying a different schema that is appropriate for the page that you're on. And if you want reviews on that page, you have to create an aggregate rating for the item that you're reviewing on this page so that way when people leave reviews, okay, it will show up specific for the item that you're reviewing. Want to see how simple it is to make one small change, those guys? Turn this off, okay? Turn off use per page reviews. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to click save changes. I'm going to go back to this page that has no reviews, and when I click refresh, all of a sudden it's going to have, how many reviews is it going to have? You guys probably didn't see that. There was 2 there though, right? All of a sudden I have 2 reviews, right? There you go, it refreshed. Because I turned off per page reviews. Now that means the reviews, no matter where someone submits it, are showing everywhere. So there's a lot of options, guys, and there's a lot of ways that you can be creative about how you want to do things, okay? Rick, if you say 10 services, can you have a services offered schema on each page, or is that a bad thing to do? Is there if you have 10, well, it depends, Rick, how you have your website set up, right? Like your schema is almost going to typically exactly look at, okay, the most responsible schema is going to typically mirror the structure of your website, right? So if you have company website, and then you have a page for services, and on that page you have 10 services, your schema should include all 10 services on that page, right? But if you have the same situation where you have company website and you have service for, you know, landscaping, and then a service page for snow removal, and then you have a service for, you know, ditch digging. This schema is going to talk about an offer for, or a service for landscaping. This page's schema is going to talk about a service for snow removal, and this page's schema is going to talk about ditch digging. A dentist has a lot of services, but the dentist has a page for each service. So then do it, Rick. So what you would do is, you're talking about this scenario, right? Your company, your dentist client maybe has a lot of services, but he has a page for each service. So rather than one page for all services, he has individual pages. So here's what you do. Okay, it's dentist. Okay, just say dentist did snow removal and shit. So you would add dentist schema type for this one. Okay, but what would you make different on this schema to this schema to this schema? What's the difference, right? Well, your description would be different for this one than it would be for this one, right? So what you would do, so if we go to printer repair, where's a good one? Pool resurfacing Phoenix, here's a good one. Okay, there you go. They're poorly named, but this one is pool repair service. This one is pool service. Let me try and explain this better. You basically take the same schema. I don't have the schemas built to show you, but you'll basically take the same type of schema. So for your dentist, actually, you know what, Fluoride Journal, we have dentist schema. We can show it here. Here we go. Okay, here's our dentist homepage schema. Okay. Description, we are a good dentist, the name of the site, the opening hours. I probably want to add in URL and shit like that. But now I have a different page, right? So I'm going to copy this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this schema. See here we have a dentist type schema, but I'm going to duplicate it. Okay, so now I open up Fluoride Journal. I have dentist and I have homepage one. Now I have a different schema here. Actually, I should have duplicated the dentist. Let me delete that, remove that. I'm going to duplicate the actual dentist schema type because we're going to work on different pages, and different pages need different schemas. Maybe I can't duplicate the top. Okay, let's just add dentist. We're going to Fluoride Journal. So this is page for orthodontics. Okay, and then I'll just do a very, very simple schema here just to be quick. Email dentist@site.com. I'll save that schema. Okay. So here we have homepage schema. Here we have an orthodontic schema. It's the same schema. I should have duplicated it. Actually, that would have worked. But all I'm going to do now when I go to Fluoride Journal to go to the pages, I'll do one more. I'll do duplicate orthodontics. Okay. I'm going to open up the duplicated one. And then under description, what's another? Okay, I'll do this one as braces. Okay, this is the braces description. Bad spelling, whatever. Save schema. Okay, now I have dentist schema for my homepage, which is probably like a local business type entry where we're doing a lot of, there's H page, where we'll talk about the business and shit like that. Then braces will just, you know, bring it down a bit, and the description will talk about braces, and then orthodontics. Okay, now I have to go assign these, right? So we go to our website, we type in FLOU, there's our Fluoride Journal, we're gonna go manage it. Okay, and then we'll go over to our schemas. Okay, and we're gonna go over to our per page schemas. Hopefully I saved those. There we go, okay. So there's our main schema type for dentist. These are 3 different dentist schemas, but this one has a little bit different a description and shit like that, and it's for the orthodontics page. So I would go to the orthodontics page and scroll or drag in that schema. And then I would go to the brace, and remember we're doing per page schema here. Then I would go to the braces page and I would pull in that schema. And even though the schemas are basically built and saying the same shit, they're a little bit different because of the descriptions or the whatever you do. Okay, you can duplicate your schema to quickly populate new schemas, but you're changing small things. You know, you're either changing you know, the description or the name or the image or the logo, you know, the thing that is specific to that page, right? Does that make sense, Rick? Okay. And then, yeah, the services offered one, I've seen a lot of cool schemas. I think it's offer. There's like offer catalog. I think this offer catalog would be more like when you're on a single page where you have a bunch of different things. And I think you also have to, you can see anytime that we have like the drop down shit, where is it? Items is always one of them. Yeah, thing. So you can see thing, text, or list. If I added it as a thing, Okay, it's asking me to create a new schema type for thing. There's the item list element or item list order or whatever. This would be like, just read the descriptions, but I've never done an offer catalog. I've seen it where it's like, you know, I offer this service, that service, that service. So you have to create a bunch of different thing schemas and nest them into this, right? And then you drag the parent schema over to the page that's has all the services described, and then you have a full catalog or a full write-up on schema of all the services because you use something like offer catalog. Maybe I'll do one for you guys one day and show it, but that's basically how you do it. Mike, have you ever entered their DUNS number? What's a DUNS number? DUNS number? I don't know what that is. And no, I haven't, because I don't even know what it is. David, so if the geolocation is the only difference from post to post, all we need to do is make our description relevant to that city or whatever. Yeah, in a location-based schema where like you have a lot of, you want to use the same schema, but you have different locations, you're basically going to copy, okay, so like for instance, we have printer repair Edmonton, we have our local business, our default, or a better, maybe sometimes a better thing to name it instead of default would be homepage. So let's load it and rename it. Okay, so let's call it HP or homepage or whatever, and we'll save it, right? Now, let's say Printer Repair Edmonton had a bunch of different offices within Edmonton, or maybe the domain was Printer Repair Guys, and they were in a bunch of different cities. You could literally duplicate this schema, right? And just change the one thing, just change the address. So let's, oh, that's the wrong site, Printer Repair Edmonton. Close that one, open up local. So there's our local business type schema. And if I open the homepage schema, I do believe I have the address in here. Okay, there it is, address. So now what I'll do for different locations, let me make this make more room. I'm gonna duplicate this schema. Okay, so now I'll open up Printer Repair Edmonton local business again. Now I have a second schema. It's literally the same thing, but I'm gonna change it to location 2. Okay, or let's say Edmonton, maybe I have Calgary as a different city. Then in the address, I'm gonna change it to Calgary, right? And in the description, or branch, there's like branch information, branch codes, whatever. Description, I might be like, change Edmonton to Calgary. Change any fields that are necessary to change, okay? And then I save that schema. Now what I've done is I've shortcutted myself to, I have 2 local business schemas. I have a homepage schema for my main site, and then I have a Calgary schema for my Calgary page. So when I now go to my site, once again, okay, I go over to websites, I go to Printer Repair, there's Edmonton, I go to my manage to assign the schemas, I go to schemas. Okay, now I have my regular, and here's my Calgary one. So I would go to per page schema, I would load up the Calgary page, and I'd drag the Calgary info to the Calgary page. Where was the geo schema for that page? I didn't build geo schema, I just did address, but you could have built. The idea here is I'm showing you the quick way to do it, right? I didn't actually build geo schema, I could have. And then I could have, where is my Edmonton? Okay, so like geo coordinates schema. Okay, that would be giving like the all the information of the actual geo coordinates schema, and then I assign it into the particular schema. Let's do a quick one. Let's do homepage or we'll do Calgary. And this is for Printer Repair Edmonton. And then the address is, I'll say Calgary. Okay, and I'm just gonna save that, but if I wanted to do my latitudes and longitudes and shit like that, I could. Okay, so I'll save my schema of geo coordinates. So now we'll open up Printer Repair Edmonton. You see I have a new geo coordinates type schema for Calgary. Okay, but I think I wanna nest it. So I'm going to open up my Calgary local business, and instead of address, we're going to do geo coordinates, right? I'm going to add it, and now I'm going to add the Calgary geo. Okay, and that's going to change my schema tree. So now if I open up printer repair Edmonton local business, the geo's gone away, but now it's a nested part of Calgary, right? So it has aggregate rating and geo coordinates for the Calgary page. Then I would just drag the Calgary over to that page, and now I have geo coordinate schema for the Calgary page, right? So we can render that schema out, and you can see geo coordinates is now part of it. Does that make sense, Rick? Yep. Okay, cool. Are you guys feeling like you're starting to get the hang of the schema builder and assigner more and more? Is this stuff like really helping a lot? Yeah. And like, now that you're starting to, you know, see me do things and like understand how the schema builder works and shit like that, do you see how it's so much more powerful than what we had with V2 now? And it is well thought out. It is a very, very well thought out schema builder. Like, hopefully you guys are starting to see that. You know what I mean? Because I know when you first get in here, you're like, what the hell? What do I do? Right? But this thing's so badass, guys, as a schema builder, especially when we get the Schema Sniper built in. I mean, you guys will just have the best schema tool. And like, we literally could sell the schema builder only as a standalone product and compete with schemaapp.com. And they sell it for $297 a month for 100 sites, which is cray. They're better at schema than us. I won't lie to you about that. Like, they're freaking crazy, but we have enough knowledge and enough good development team to come out with a really damn good product. They're just smarter about, you know, how to build schema. But I mean, we all learn together, right? It's just like Mike here. Mike, this is funny. Your students are becoming critical now. You're teaching us too good. That's good. Kath, seeing that geo coordinates and how to nest it was really helpful. Yeah. Mike built his first schema this week, and it's awesome. Awesome, Mike. So glad. When's the Schema Sniper coming out? We haven't even, that was an idea that came up today, Frank. So we have to develop it. So I have no idea how long it's going to take to come out. Plus, we're hammering the guys with like, okay, make sure you got the affiliate program done and get these bugs done and figure this out and figure that out. And any bugs that are coming up, we always want people to, or we always want the guys to like fix bugs. They're busy. Those guys are hardcore 40 hours or 50 hours a week developing this tool. Yeah, the Schema Sniper, I don't know. I think that's going to be super badass. Yeah, Kath. I know it's always helpful to see it being built. That's why I really try, when you guys ask a question, to actually try and build it for you and show you the settings and stuff like that. Because there's a lot, right? And you kind of have to know where to go. You know, like I really think that Project Supremacy V3 is still as big and as many options as there are. I still think it's very, very well thought out. It does require that you know how to use it. So that's why, I mean, that's why we're going to these weekly webinars, to really train you guys on, you know, how to use it and stuff like that. But as a software and as the functionality goes, I think it's really, really well done. And it makes sense. And I think that once you guys start to use it more and more, you'll really see the guys after the learning curve, okay? After the learning curve is done for you, and you can instantly, you know where to go to get things done. It's so frigging fast to do anything that you need to do. It's so fast. No, we're not going to sell it to OMG. I mean, I absolutely, every time I have to get something done, guys, it's like V3 is like, I love it. I can't believe that Todd and I built this tool. I can't believe how good it's become. It's awesome. It's just such an awesome tool. And literally everything I do now is done. I mean, the link stuff, guys, if you haven't seen the link videos, we changed it to link management. But if you guys haven't seen what this thing can do, you need to go and watch those webinars. Hopefully Bob, I'll ask Bob to redo, you know how in SerpTech we did those big spreadsheets where you could go see shit. Hopefully he can do that for the V3 shit, because there is a lot already. We're on our 5th webinar, and I have this will be the 5th webinar, but there's also 2 other live Facebook videos I've done, and then the schema video I've done. So it's a lot. So I want you guys to be able to sort through the information fast. Okay. I should have covered this at the beginning of the webinar, but when you guys want to come and watch the replays for V3, oh shit, look at that. There's a redirect on there. Oh, mute. So I got to go get rid of that. See, this is a cool thing. This is coming up right now. So I'm typing in the URL I want to go to, but it's redirecting to this. And I know exactly why it's doing it. So I'm going to go fix it. I'll show you guys how to fix that. Webinars page is redirection to Google Stars page. Supremacy V3, SEO settings, redirects. Okay. And these 3 webinars is redirecting that page. I don't know why it's still a bit buggy. We're going to get that fixed though. We'll move those redirects. And then these are all shit. I'm gonna remove all the redirects. I don't want redirects. So anyways, let's go back to the page we had intended to for you guys in your replays. Okay, the first 2 up here, remember guys, these are still sales pages. Like we are still trying to sell the tool. So there's still like stuff like my Facebook live feeds for that Bitcoin site that I did, and then Tennille's custom stuff pet site. But your replays are here. So the 5th one's coming in today. And then I'll try to add Bob's spreadsheet for you guys so that you can come through these replays, because each one's still, once again, probably 2 hours, and this one's already an hour and a half. But they're just so full of good information. They're so good to have. So v3.projectsupremacy.com webinars is where replays happen. I'll put that in your chat box as well. Replays. Rick, the link I just gave you is where those live feeds, everything's on the replay page. Kind of gets hard to like start organizing shit as it grows and grows and grows. It's like, oh man, I got a lot of shit to fit on a small little area. That's why Supremacy Digital is still coming. Supremacy Digital, I'll show you this guys again, is being built. It's kind of slow going because I'm a one-man kind of show right now doing this shit. That's why I'm hiring a writer, by the way. If anybody saw the post, I'm hiring a writer to help me start writing shit. This is kind of a 2-dimensional site. The front end is going to be kind of for people to come and read blog posts. I'll put blog posts about certain things on, little strategies I find or whatever. But it also showcases the Supremacy Digital suite of products, which is Project Supremacy V3, V2, SerpTech Local, Keyword Supremacy, App Supremacy, and Supremacy Hosting. But in the back end, I'm actually going to put everything in the back end. So all the Keyword Supremacy videos, all the App Supremacy videos, all the Project Supremacy V2 and V3 videos, everything is going to go into the back end. All the training, all the webinars that Todd and I run for things like we did the lab, and we did Brian's Maps course, and we've done press cable. All those webinars, all those guest webinars is going to come into the back end. All that shit is going to go here so that you have one place to go for everything that we've got, so that you can go find shit, and then it'll just be easy. So that's coming, and it'll be free to sign up for this shit, because obviously Todd and I want people to come here, see all this great info, sign up, and be like, man, I gotta go buy all this shit. It's a lot of work though. Rick, when you go to the webinar replay page, the Facebook videos are not there. The star rating one is at the top. Yeah, I know. There was just a quick redirect there, Rick, so you're gonna have to refresh your cache. But the link, I'm putting it in your, that is the link. If it redirects to a different page, just refresh your cache. I just cleared that out now too. Any more questions at this point, guys? We're about an hour and 40 into the webinar. Covered a lot more schema stuff today, but schema is kind of the big one, to be honest. Setting up schema. You guys know about the widgets? I think if I go to all posts, I'll show you what the widgets look like. Let's add a new post. Just so I can show you what the widget. Let's say blog post, okay. Blah. So I'm gonna publish this post. Okay, so if I go to this post, it's a full page post, but I need a sidebar, so we're gonna change the, I guess this theme doesn't use a sidebar. It's kind of stupid. 2 columns. If you had a sidebar, here's what it would be. Go to widgets. Okay. And then at the bottom, we have the PSv3 review widget, which is already there. So we can remove that. And then we have the PS3 display widget. That's just for sidebarring. And there is options on them. So like if you use a site-wide widget and you want to hide it or show it only on selected pages, like hide on selected pages, you could go like that and then choose the pages that you want to hide it on, the widget. And that becomes useful for when you like typically on a blog, you want the widget and the review box showing everywhere, but then on a certain post, you're talking about a certain product and you want to use the short code because you only want, you want to hide the widget on the sidebar and use it in the page. So like the perfect example where I've done that is this site where I actually have the widget in the sidebar right here on every page of the site, right? But then when it comes to this particular post, you'll see that I hid the sidebar widget so it doesn't appear in the sidebar because I chose to hide it, but then I used the short codes to still make it display in a different format here. And then I did different options like pop-up box, and then I have only 2 out of the 8 reviews showing, but I can see them all. It's just shit like that. It's just so you guys can see like there's flexibility in the way that you want to do things. So I would, guys, once again, read this post if you want to understand the widgets, reviews, and short codes. And the options that come with them. It is in your shoutouts on your dashboard. Any last questions, guys? I'm going to wait like about 1 more minute before I shut her down. Mute myself so I can take a quick vape. If you want to build local sites for nationwide affiliate offers, would you just make up a street address to dominate locally? No, Bruce, I just don't include a street address. I just, like, if I'm in the city of Edmonton, I just say Edmonton. And if I'm in a, like as far as schema and building address schema, if I'm in Edmonton, I'll just say Edmonton is my address. And then if I'm in a suburb of Edmonton, I'll just say the suburb is my address. And then obviously like location pages are helpful. Thank you, Rick. I guess that's it for questions then, guys. So let's end it there. Once again, I'll have the replay up on v3.projectsupremacy.com/webinars. If it's redirecting you guys, refresh your cache because there was a redirect built in there. I'll get that bug fixed. So that whatever V3 is doing there, there's a bug and we're going to fix it. But this is where you'll be able to watch the 5th replay now. Just out of curiosity, guys, there's 4 replays up. Give me a number. How many of them have you already watched, whether you attended it or watched the replay? There's 4 up. Let me hear how many you guys have seen. Awesome. All 4. All 4. Attended live. 3.5. Okay. That's awesome, man. This is great. I'm so happy to see such high numbers. That means the content's good. At least you guys are learning. Otherwise, we'd see a bunch of 0s and 2s and stuff like that. Okay, good. I think next week, I think we're going to have Terry Samuels come on. I asked him already, and he said he was willing. We'll see, make sure that the schedule's there. So next week's probably going to be another Schema webinar, but it's going to be from Terry Samuels. Terry's really good at this shit. He owns a really, really big agency in Phoenix. And Terry has been, he's a huge supporter of first V2. It took me a little bit of convincing to get Terry to move over to V3 because he was just so used to his processes with V2, and he was fast and quick at it. But he's now, I know I can tell he's on V3 more. So Terry's really good and smart with Schema. He actually had a lot to do with some of the features that we have in V3 Schema, like with the randomized reviews on the pages and shit like that for space saving. So he's a very, very valuable insight for Schema, and hopefully he will come on next week and just give you guys another voice to listen to about Schema, and he might connect with you in a different way than I can. So make sure you come next week. I think that one will be a really, really good one. I'm almost going to give Terry the whole webinar. I don't know how long of a presentation he's going to have, but yeah, he's going to be on. It's going to be good. Thank you, Nico. HostGator has a problem with V3 on PHP. What can we say to them? Christo, submit a support ticket because I run tons of websites on HostGator, to be honest. Like here, just to give you an example. If I go to websites and I go to tags, and you can see I have a bunch of different HostGator sites. These ones, this is the site that got hacked. That's why the plugin's down. I have to go and move all these sites, but let's choose a different one. 3135. There you go. See, I have a bunch of sites on HostGator accounts. So just submit a ticket, Christos, because Project Supremacy does work with HostGator. You know where to submit a ticket as well, right? By the way, just a little chat box, right? Oh yeah, the only one other thing I'll say that's changing. This little blue icon is your support for V3 guys. It's moving over here into the left so that it's not getting in the way of shit. And this is a big empty gray space, so we'll be moving that to the left. That should be on the next update. Okay. That's it, guys. Let's end it there. Thanks for coming on, and we will see you next week. Hopefully, you guys have a productive rest of the week. Talk to you later.